Hello everyone, my name is Puddy and welcome back to another edition of Tuesday Night SmackDown. This episode is going to be a little bit different than you're used to probably, because we have had a few issues this week, right Tucker?
So the original recording of this episode, the audio was extremely echoed. I don't know totally the specifics of how it happened, but basically you could hear Puddy's audio twice over.
Well, I mean the specifics were that your microphone was picking up your headphones.
Yeah.
And because of your old recording software, your current recording software, some latency, it turned out the way it did. Trust me, you don't want to see the video. So we've decided we're going to redo this week of episodes, especially considering that we had a pay-per-view this week on my side, and the episode you're about to see was quite important to it. Tucker obviously did our old style of checking the history and going through it. I actually thought the episode was really good. That's cool. But I wanted to recreate it with the pacing that we usually have here on SmackDown, because I felt this episode was important enough to justify it.
These are two really good episodes, like Armageddon and this show.
Yeah, I really like this show, to give a little bit of post-off. Armageddon's going to be a big cap-off. Not a lot of story going on in Armageddon, but it was a good pay-per-view. Obviously, I'm not going to spoil too much. And with SmackDown, a lot of stuff towards Armageddon was developed. So, there's some announcements, but they do come during the show. So like I said, this is going to be a bit of a hack job edit together. So hopefully you are going to notice some inconsistencies. It's not going to be the show you're used to. It is post-commentated, and we're not going to lie to you about that. But hopefully it's all right, and hopefully this doesn't happen again. To a William Regal promo. So he comes out and says, what Kevin Owens has been doing here on SmackDown has been unacceptable. He has hurt the flow of the program and led to cancellations that are just not fair to the roster. With King of the Ring qualifiers starting next week, I have a duty to handle this situation, and I must take drastic measure. Before he finishes, Sami Zayn comes out and says, Regal, wait, we've been through all this before, haven't we? A guy comes in and acts against the grain, so the authority thinks they can just get rid of him. It didn't work with the KED, and it hasn't worked with Kevin Owens. You can't just tell someone to stop, no matter how much authority you hold. Beyond that, it simply wouldn't be the right thing to do. This was supposed to be a happy occasion. My return to SmackDown as the WWE Champion. I beat AJ Styles. Finally, my destiny in the shape of SmackDown is in my hands. I am free to make wrestling fun again. My entire career here on SmackDown has been leading up to this, and tonight was supposed to be my crowning achievement. But instead, my glory at Survivor Series was interrupted by a man that I have at times considered to be my best friend. Maybe it's on me. This isn't the first time this has happened, far from it. But when Kev answered my phone call a few weeks ago, when we teamed against AJ Styles and his group of shadowy figures trying to control SmackDown, I thought we had finally matured, and that our clear mutual respect for each other had shone through. But I get it now. I do. I understand Kevin Owens better than I ever had in my career. He's an addict. That's what he is. He's addicted to battling with me and turning my success and any success that he has in his career into one part of this long feud. It can never be about Sami Zayn or Kevin Owens for him. It has to be about Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. But you know what? I'm okay with that. I've brought out a contract and it's already signed. Give it to Owens, because this Sunday I will make my first defense as WWE Champion and will defend my way of life. Because unlike AJ Styles, if someone wants some against me, well, they can come get some. And Tucker, you can book that in for Sunday.
All right.
Oh, that's right. I think Tana is just talking about how he's been through this before, and they've had these wars before, but at the end of the day, in New Japan Pro Wrestling, Hiroshi Tanahashi was the ace, and Shinsuke Nakamura was not, and then just Nakamura just comes from nowhere and starts brawling the fuck out of him. He beats him down so badly, in fact, that Tanahashi just starts bleeding all over the locker room. It's a really brutal attack. And then we have Becky Lynch squashing Shanna. Matthew Riddle is backstage with William Regal, and he says, Regal, I think I'm on an up here on SmackDown. And at Armageddon, I want to prove myself. I want you to give me an awesome opponent. I want you to give me a phenomenal opponent. The best opponent possible. And Regal's like, you know what, Matt? I think you are on an up. So later tonight, I will announce who you will be facing in Armageddon. And like last year, I will give a rising superstar a big opportunity. So Hiroshi Tanahashi comes out to the ring and says, Shinsuke, you want to embarrass me on live TV? You want to brutalize me, attack me from behind? This has gone too far. You made me bleed back there, and I've just spoken to William Regal, and this Sunday, Nakamura, I'm going to make you bleed, because we're going to have a first blood match. So we have the debut of Kenta, as he takes on the Lone Wolf Baron Corbin. Well, we have a sit-down promo backstage with Kevin Owens and Michael Cole, and Michael asks, you know what, Kevin, everyone wants to know why this sudden change of attitude. You seemed very different when you first arrived here on SmackDown, but recently you've gone back to your old ways. And Kevin just basically ignores Michael Cole's question, stares into the camera and goes, you know what your problem is, Sammy? You always think of yourself as this holier-than-thou hero. Like you're so much better than everybody else. Like if you're the guy running the show, everyone would be so much happier. You don't get it, do you? The reason everyone helps you, the reason you got everyone to band together against guys like Cesaro and Hero and Styles isn't because you're some inspiring leader. It isn't because you're the good guy and they're the bad guy. It's because it's because the guy you were fighting is the guy on top. The guy with a bullseye on their chest. AJ Styles was miles better than anybody else on this roster, and he was smart enough to realize it. He built walls around himself to make sure it stayed that way. So you and your band of merry men got jealous and made sure he was overthrown. And now you're here, the face of the brand, the ace that runs the place, and you think things are going to be different? Like you're not going to be painted as the bad guy when some young gun comes along and wants to knock you off that perch? No, that's right. Things will be different this time around because you are a far more stupid champion than AJ Styles ever was. You didn't build walls around you. And this Sunday, your former allies aren't going to be there to save you because you're the guy now. This Sunday I will beat you and take everything you hold dear, and you'll go away and sulk for a little while before starting the whole process over again. You know, Sammy, I think you'd sleep a lot better at night if you just admitted to yourself that you're a selfish bastard who comes in and takes over because he thinks he knows what's best. And I know for a fact you'll sleep better on Sunday night, because I'm going to knock your ass out. So we have a traditional worker arrives angle where we see him in the car park. He gets out of the car, he's walking to the arena, he's got his bags and stuff, and then Ciampa just fucking wrecks him. Just comes out of nowhere, just beats him up. Clearly, these two cannot keep their hands off each other. Sparkle splash. Sparkle sparkle. So Alexa says that this Sunday she is going to finish Becky Lynch off once and for all, and she will be the last woman standing. William Regal announces that we are going to revive a old WWE December tradition, because this Sunday in a tag team open challenge, the tag team championships will be defended in a tables, ladders, and chairs match. We have a good little match here between two members of the Style Battle block back in the summer. Matthew Riddle defeats Pentagon Jr. by submission with a bro mission, and after the match, William Regal comes out and says, Matthew Riddle, you asked for a phenomenal opponent. Well, I got you the Phenom. This Sunday at Armageddon, the man who returned to Raw last week, well, he's still a SmackDown superstar. And at Armageddon, Matthew Riddle, you're gonna go one-on-one with The Undertaker. Roderick Strong says that this Sunday, AJ, I'm going to prove to you why it was a mistake to replace me. I'm going to stop you getting away with this bullshit, and I'm going to revert your changes. You're as indie as the rest of us, and this Sunday I'm going to prove it, and book myself in that title match at the Royal Rumble. And when I win that title match at the Royal Rumble, I'll prove to everyone that I am best at the grapple thing. Grapple thing. And then Roddy beats this dude. And when we have an announcement that this Sunday Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano will finally settle their differences in an unsanctioned match. The only rule is there are no rules. Must end by pinfall. AJ Styles makes an elaborate entrance for our main event. We're finally going to get to see Zack Sabre Jr. versus AJ Styles. No interference, no bullshit, one-on-one. Who is the better man?
Holy shit.
So in our main event of the evening, in a superb match, Zack Sabre Jr. defeated AJ Styles in 32 minutes by pinfall with a penalty kick. These two continue their excellent series, and Zack Sabre Jr. proves he's the guy. What's that? Yeah. And after the match, Zack Sabre Jr. gets on the mic and says, "You know, I've been on and up lately. One of the biggest highs of my career. But I don't have a match for this Sunday, and I've been thinking that it's time to go back and correct a few wrongs. The first man I ever fought on pay-per-view was The Big Show. I broke his arm and I still lost. So Big Show, if you're out there, if you're listening, and I know you are, this Sunday I want to correct that wrong. I want a match with you." And we can book in, voice crack, Zack Sabre Jr. versus The Big Show. The Big Show. And the show overall gets a 96 A-star, as we are hyped for Armageddon, the final pay-per-view of the year. Severely hyped. Please tune in. Sorry again for the problems, and I'm hoping that this edit job wasn't terrible. Apologies, Tucker was quiet. He didn't really know when to talk. It's okay. It's not just that. It is a rough situation. So, again, apologies for all the situations, and I hope this episode makes it up to you guys. We hope to see you on Sunday. It's an important pay-per-view. And shit like this is why I want to retire. Jason Rotunda.